So are you good to go? Should we start?
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, I didn't think of it. Thank you very much for inviting me. And
That's all
I
right.
mean, on
No,
behalf of the company,
no,
we're
you're
pretty young,
welcome.
and
Yeah, you are young. So actually, let's start there then, Ilya,
yeah.
because you're not quite launched yet. I've been all over your website and I've signed up for early access and all the rest of it, but you're not quite launched yet. So where are you at right now with Salterbrick?
So we didn't launch publicly. However, we had test runs with our initial, let's say, early supporters that
Yeah.
were on our waiting list because we, welcomed them to a waiting list since I think early spring last year, so 2023.
Okay.
So yeah, and we offered our service to a very selected number of these
Uh-huh.
early customers, and we already provide services, but
Yep.
it's not public yet because we're still working a lot on just improving both process. I
Yep.
mean, in terms of customer interaction, sorting, technology. So everything is like
Yeah.
just crashing every day, and we are rebuilding it. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's probably normal mode for this
Sure.
kind of
For this,
integrated hardware and software and AI startups.
exactly. Okay, let's give me the pitch then, Ilya, because I think for the first time on my podcast ever, I have a business on where I am the absolute target market, right? So I'm your ideal
Yeah.
customer. Give us the pitch for Salterbrick.
Okay. So I usually start with asking whether you have kids or you love playing Lego your own, but I already see that you do have Lego, and I suppose that either way you are engaged. So in this case, it usually goes like this: that every family with especially with the kids, usually have some kind of bucket or a box or a bag full of mixed Lego bricks. And why this happens? Because I mean, kids really love Lego, and we love when they play Lego because it's really beneficial for their cognitive skills, and I mean, it's fun. But although these models are pretty sturdy, but
Hmm.
still, if you play with them a lot, they start fall down, and these Lego bricks they just disassemble. So sooner or later, all the models that were built they end up in this bin, and bin is keeping growing. And the problem here is that, unfortunately, kids they quite have short attention span, so they don't have enough, let's say, patience
Hmm.
to carefully sort these bricks in order to rebuild models again.
Yeah.
And if you offer them to just go into free play, just build something, some of the kids really enjoy this, but most of them they want to build according to the building instruction.
Yep.
And that's it. And here you are. Kids love Lego. They would really love to spend time with it, and we as a parents would really love them to spend time on it instead of playing this insane video games. But what should we do? Should we buy new Lego sets? They're quite expensive. And usually, at least in my family, there are two occasions a year when kids get Lego. It's
Yep.
Christmas and birthdays, and then they are jumping into building, and then that's it for the rest of the year. We have nothing to offer them because, like, I don't know, we cannot afford ourselves to buy them like 100 euros worth of Lego sets each month even. So that's the point. So you have this asset that is very expensive, that was very expensive when you bought it,
Hmm.
and still you cannot use it.
Yep.
So and I have this problem at home. So I have three kids and two boys that are a little bit older. They love Lego, and I mean we do have this big bucket. So I tried to sort these bricks by myself with the help of kids. It didn't work. It's too tedious. I mean, it takes amazing amount of time. And then I thought that maybe we could employ technology to help us out. And it appeared that there is nobody offering this kind of service. I mean, I didn't find anybody like it was a couple of years ago. And I was super surprised because each family, I mean, literally in the Western world, they do have this kind of, let's say, problem, or if you call it bucket of Lego. So yeah, that was the start when we started to build Sort of Brick. And the idea is pretty simple. So we take your box full of mixed Lego bricks, we scan them in our premises, we inventory them, we can see by ourselves, so we don't need your input, we can see for ourselves using AI and matching software what sets can be assembled from your own bricks, and we show the sets to you. most probably you will see that some bricks are missing because, small bricks, you
Hmm.
have vacuum cleaners full of them. Then we provide you with a quote for these missing bricks. You choose sets that you would like to restore, and we process these bricks by sorting from this mixed, assorted mass
Yeah.
into sets again. Currently, we can only restore original sets. Original, it means they
Uh-huh.
created by Lego.
Yep.
However, we are definitely going for custom model designs in the
Yep.
future
Okay.
because there is so many of them. And the idea is that by using our service, you could reuse your own bricks number of times. Because like
Hmm.
if we would only be able to sort into original sets, how many times does kid want to play with the same set? I mean,
Hmm.
maybe two if
Yep.
some time passed and they forgot about. But with these custom sets, we could offer you the chance to explore new models built from the almost the same bricks,
Yeah.
and it will definitely bring your cost of play much lower. And I mean, my belief is that this way we will be able to enable these families with kids to give them this benefit of play not only 2 times a year but throughout the
Yeah.
year without breaking a bank.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It,
that's
it it's such a brilliant concept, and I too have a shed full of Lego buckets and buckets of the stuff. What I love about what you're doing is that you're almost delivering the Lego sets back to their original value, because at the moment they're kind of worthless because you can't find all the bits, right? So you can never really recreate those sets, but you're bringing something back to the market almost in its original
absolutely.
for its original value.
And that's actually is amazing angle, and thanks for bringing it up because not a lot of people realize how much hidden value or frozen value, or whatever how you call it, is inside those messed up bricks. Because on average, when you buy a new Lego set, you pay around 100 euros per kilo. I mean,
Right.
nobody calculates it per kilo, of course,
No,
because usually people buy sets.
especially Lego, they don't
Uh,
do that. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, but if you do, and we do, because it's
Okay.
our
Yep.
bread and butter, so you pay around 100. But then if you get these amazing models broke down into the pieces and you want to sell them on the I don't know, Craigslist, Vinted, whatever, as a assorted bricks, you will get roughly around 10 euros.
Okay.
It depends, of course, maybe a little bit more if you are very careful, you preserved all the instructions, but usually around 10. So we have this huge difference, 10
Yeah.
euros and 100 euros.
Yeah.
So it means that all the difference is consumed by mostly one play cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So what we want to do, we want to decrease this, cost per play
Yep.
2-3 times at least. So
Gotcha.
that's the biggest economic point here.
And where are you based, Ilya?
We're based in Vilnius, Lithuania,
In Vilnius. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
one of the Baltic states.
And is that where the Lego would be sent to you there?
Currently, we are based here, and our R&D is happening here. So
Okay.
the processing of the this early orders is also happening here. So it's kind of still very early R&D stage. So
Mm-hmm.
we send bricks into Lithuania. However, as soon as we get our technology and overall process of the sorting center kind of good enough,
Mm-hmm.
we are going to expand and open this kind of sorting centers locally in
Yeah.
just
Because
Western
the,
world.
the idea of sending buckets of Lego
Yeah,
anywhere sounds incredibly expensive.
yeah, it is. And when I was a student, I visited the United States. There was a work and travel visa, and I remember I was working as an ice cream man. So I was driving
Okay.
this van selling ice cream, and I remember that kids were like just so nervous, so excited for me to come every day, ring the bell. So one of the ideas of the distribution is to have this sort of brick vans that visit, for example, a school once
Yeah.
per, I don't know, 2 weeks. That's enough because, and then you can collect physically, and then the cost of, this distribution goes down
Yeah.
significantly, and you have additional moment of excitement. The
Yes.
truck is coming, boom, boom.
I love it. Love it. Talk us through the actual process. So a bucket of Lego arrives at your center, wherever that might be. How does the technology work? Is this a video operation that's looking at the bricks and sorting them that way? How does the AI come into it, and how does the technology work without giving too much away?
Yeah. So the process is quite lengthy, and I just want to start with that we are automating it step by step.
Okay.
So we cannot possibly automate all of it immediately
Yeah.
because nobody have done it before. The biggest challenge, I will start with challenges with this process, is that you have thousands literally of shapes
Yes.
that you have a shapes as small as I don't know 0.3 centimeters, like this wrist of the minifigure that could fall out,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you have a much larger pieces that are like tens of centimeters. So you have a huge variance in sizes, weights, and stuff. And usually for any industrial automation, this is a killer
Yeah. Yeah.
because you want to automate something that is homogeneous.
Uh-huh.
Apples, whatever, tomatoes, nuts. And this is the most pressing challenge that we are solving. So getting back to the process. When we receive the box, we, of course, unpack it. We take a weight of the bricks almost before and after each step
Mm-hmm.
throughout the whole process. So we are sure that we didn't lose anything and we could keep track of pieces that are being separated. So first we waited, then we take all the, let's say, rubbish, trash, because usually there are some
Yeah.
non-Lego objects. There are some things that just get into this bucket by accident. So we take it out. Then we wash all the bricks, except of course those bricks that are not washable, because you cannot wash, for example, I don't know, sails of
Yeah.
the large pirate ship and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But all the rest are washed. It depends if they're very dirty. We use additional washing with the ultrasonic bath, but that's probably doesn't really matter. But still, they're cleaned, they are dried, and then we group them. We group them by size into a couple of categories, so it will
Uh-huh.
be easier to handle them. So they become a little bit more homogeneous.
Yeah.
I mentioned it before, and we sort them by a couple of basic colors, and then we start inventorying process. So it means that we are recognizing them, and this is the first step that we have automated. So we have our computer vision systems. Basically, it's an AI model that is trained on quite a large amount of Lego bricks, and it is able to recognize brick by seeing it from all sides.
Yeah.
We have some, let's say, innovation here, because the interesting part is when you see the brick and when you watch at it from one side, many times you won't be able to clearly distinguish it because some specific parameters could be hidden underneath.
Right.
So then we take images and recognize all of the bricks that our specific customer have. Then we build a part list. Then we feed this list into our software that match makes this part list with part lists of all the original sets we have,
Mm-hmm.
and gives us different scenarios of rebuilding sets, because you can prioritize, for example, mm, price per set, because and you won't be advised to restore sets that have only, let's say, 70% of the brick available, because the
Right.
30% could cost quite a lot. So we build these suggestions, then we communicate with our clients, offering them to choose. So they choose which one of the scenarios they would like to pursue. If there are missing bricks involved, and I mean, usually there are, we
Mm-hmm.
offer to purchase them additionally. And that's it. When we get this extra bricks, we again get back to this recognition machine, but this time we also have a sorting module,
Sure.
and we just feed the bricks there, and based on the algorithms, machine just sorts specific sets from this mass.
Wow.
Then we pack them and send to the client.
Amazing. And it must be a machine that just keeps learning and gets more efficient as
Absolutely.
the more you do this. Have you, given the inventory you've developed so far, have you a sense of how many types of Lego bricks there are?
Oh yeah, we have I mean, this number is changing constantly because Lego is introducing new
Yeah.
pieces kind of every couple of months.
Yeah.
But um, when we talk about different bricks, we need to have in mind that there are three basic parameters. It's a shape, it's a color, and it's a decoration. So the bricks
Mm.
have prints on them, or sometimes stickers.
Yeah.
So if you take all of these three parameters and based on them you define a unique, Lego
Yeah.
brick, then we're talking about hundreds of thousands
Yeah.
of
Exactly.
Lego
It's an
bricks.
incredible amount.
But the shapes, we're talking about around 10,000 different shapes.
Yeah. I mean, beyond the technological barriers that you've had to overcome, What are the kind of market barriers to this that you are facing, and potentially will face in terms, I guess, consumer perception around the second-hand market? Although it's not quite second-hand, this is almost people buying their own second-hand stuff back from themselves, which is slightly bizarre. But what are the other kind of perception problems that you need to overcome here?
I think that this moment of buying the bricks from yourself is actually a benefit that we are trying to benefit from, because as far as I'm concerned, quite a lot of people are hesitant of buying toys for their kids because they're not sure about the origin of the toys, what happened to them before. And we,
Yes.
of course, want our kids to get just what is best.
Yep.
But in this case, you precisely know where those bricks were, and even if there is something written on them with the permanent marker, or
Yeah.
something, who cares?
It's
That was
mine. Yeah.
another kid who just did it. So that's, I think it's been good for the
Mm.
business model, because people are just reusing their own stuff. Basically, what we see so far is that, first of all, the biggest challenge for the people is to just, let's say, agree to pay money for something that they already paid for quite a lot.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah. Yeah.
However, if you and we are trying to frame this service in a way that we give people comparison,
Uh huh.
because just simply imagine you have, let's say, two kids. So your first kid was the original Lego fan, and
Yeah.
he just had this big box left over him. And then you have a second kid who is willing to play. And now you have two options: either to go and buy new sets, or to reuse these old bricks.
Yeah.
And if you want to reuse them conveniently, you want to use such services, sort of brick offers.
Absolutely.
And then you need to compare these two scenarios. And in
Hmm.
this case, it's pretty obvious that it's much cheaper to resort
Yeah.
old bricks rather than buy new sets. And even if your kid doesn't want to play with the bricks anymore, again, if at least some entrepreneurial spirit is present, you can offer your child just to just sell these bricks. But if you sell them in bulk, you get those €10 on
Yeah.
average.
Exactly.
But if you repack them as sets, you'll get, I don't know, 60, 50,
And
something
do
like
you
that,
do you
euros
think
per
that's going
kilo.
to be a potential market for you? People that want to use your service in order to then make money on eBay or other resale sites.
Our calculation estimate currently the second-hand market for Lego at about €1 billion. So, and comparing to other markets, let's say apparel or luxury accessories, it's,
Mm.
in our understanding, much below the potential. So we do believe that if we could, with our brand, provide a guarantee for the
Mm.
buyer that the set is clean, that the set is complete, and this is the main challenge, I think,
Yeah.
here, because when you now are buying used set on anywhere, Vinted or wherever, it's pretty impossible to tell whether all bricks are here. I mean,
Yeah.
are included, unless you just build it, and it will take time. And
Mm.
then the discussions, about whether it was there, or
Yeah.
you know just
It's
lose it
gone.
yourself,
Yeah.
they are quite difficult. So nobody wants that. So
Yeah.
if we can, give these guarantees, clean, complete, and curated in terms that it's arranged as
Yeah.
original set, I think that it will open up the much larger portion of the second-hand market.
The commercial, I think, decision behind this as a consumer, it's a no-brainer. I think the one thing that you will need is trust, because that's the one thing I think about when I think about the thousands of pounds worth of Lego I have in my shed, is sending that to you guys to making sure that I know I'm going to get exactly the right thing back, and it's not going to go missing. So I think the trust is key here. How are you sort of going to ensure that trust is maintained quite high?
You're absolutely right. Just recently, I saw in our Slack channel that our colleagues were sharing the picture of the part from 1966 that we received.
Right.
And you can imagine that this old sets, the vintage sets, they're pretty expensive.
Yes.
So, I mean, there are two ways of gaining trust. And again, it's definitely hard to get trust, and it's easy to, lose it. But first is just to do what you do honestly and transparently.
Yeah.
And you know, in time,
Hmm.
people, will talk to other people, and they will just,
Yeah.
start trusting us just because we're here, and people are not complaining because we're not doing anything bad. There are also the option to provide the additional transparency features, and we are doing it. I mentioned that we are, using weighting of the bricks during each step,
Yep.
and we're reporting this weight to our customers. So, I mean, I'm not sure that each customer would be really interested in those interim weight result, but still, it gives you some kind of transparency. And additionally, what we want to do sooner or later, we will include all the, cameras that will film your, let's say, bricks being processed. Of course, it's not possible 100% to show everything that is happening in our premises in our sorting center, but at least, I mean, to the some reasonable level,
Hmm.
we will be as transparent as possible.
Sure. And what about yourself then, Ilya? What's your background? You mentioned you were an ice cream man, but beyond that, what else have you been doing in your career?
So yeah, the ice cream was actually one of the best parts of my career.
Yeah, I bet.
Unfortunately, it lasted not for too long, maybe like 4 months. It was summer 20, yeah, 02. Basically, I had my own consulting company, so I was managing partner of consulting company. It was, I mean, rather small. In, let's say, on a bigger scale, but in Lithuania size it was mid-size, and I ran it for almost 17 years.
Yeah.
I sold it to my employees, and it still continue running, to this day. Then I had some additional, this entrepreneurial journeys. I had a small resort built and sold, so a couple more side projects, but basically, whole my career was in management consulting. So.
Okay. Okay. And so, who did you team up with then to launch Sorter Brick?
Yeah.
Who's your fellow co-founders?
So since I felt pretty strong in all the business side of the venture,
Yeah.
but I was pretty much, knowing nothing about the technology. So all the co-founders,
Okay.
they are technical co-founders. So we have Aurimas, who is responsible for software and data. We have Justas, who is AI computer vision guy,
Hmm.
and the team of engineers, of course.
Yeah. Great. And you're all based there in Vilnius.
Yeah, we're all based in Vilnius. Although, I mean, during development of the product, we definitely use some external experts from other countries, but all the
Hmm.
core team is in Vilnius, Lithuania.
Why do you think that Lego haven't launched something similar as a
Um,
service?
First of all, I know that they are looking into this.
Oh,
They were
okay.
publicly announcing it that they are going to, explore the brick recirculation. They call it this way, business model, and I think that it's definitely the time for them because I mean, when you're producing so many super expensive and indestructible plastic bricks,
Yeah.
then you probably need to take care of them somehow. But yeah, we are not aware of any internal things happening at Lego. But since the company is huge,
Hmm.
probably it will take just them some time. And in this case, since the service is kind of tied to physical locations,
Yeah.
we really strongly believe that it's not a market that is usually like described as winner takes it all. So
No.
there will be definitely place for at least a couple of players who would do what they do properly,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so
I'm sure they're looking at what you're doing. There's no two ways about
absolutely.
that. The other question I had was around what comes next for you guys, and whether you'll sort of branch out and do a similar service for other toys and products. Because I think the thing with Lego is that people don't tend to throw Lego away. It's not something that ends up in the waste. It's too valuable, but it does do the thing that we've been talking about. It does sit idly and does nothing. But I am really interested in what you might do next, toys, electronics, using the same technology to kind of feed into this kind of secondhand market that's so buoyant as you describe. What comes next?
To be honest, we are so much focused right now on the one specific case, Lego bricks, is that we are not really digging deeper into other potential applications of the
Mm,
technology. Although, of course, somewhere in the back of our heads, we of course, understand that it could be. I mean, if we build infrastructure for reusing and helping people to play with the same safe and clean and properly maintained toys again and again, it could be
Mm.
definitely broadened to other categories. However, there is so much interesting that you can do within Lego ecosystem. I mean, we imagine Lego as a medium, and I sometimes say that what we would like to do is we would like to create a new vertical that would be a YouTube for Lego.
Yeah.
I mean, when you
Yeah.
take the production from huge Hollywood studios and you decentralize it to just regular people who are becoming just creators. So in this case, we believe that by providing this resorting service at a very reasonable price at a high scale, we will enable a lot of people to become designers, Lego model designers, and create something that they were, I don't know, passionate about.
Yeah.
And then there will be definitely a market for that. Probably the market will be super small. You have 100 clients, but that's all right.
Yeah.
But you have thousands of these creators. So that's kind of where our thoughts are going.
That's fascinating. I'm just conscious my dog's going nuts in the background, but it should be all right. I think the neighbours are busy. The other question I had was, did you play Lego as a kid, Ilya? And what was your thing?
Not really.
You didn't know?
I mean,
Okay.
I'm 42 right now, so I was born in 1982, so it was Soviet Union back then.
Of course, yeah.
You were not allowed to. I mean, we didn't have Lego officially imported into the Soviet Union, so yeah, I
Wow.
didn't play with Lego. So I first encountered Lego maybe when I was, I don't know, 12 or 14, and it wasn't my Lego. It was Lego at somebody's or my friend home who had parents traveling to, I don't know, Germany or whatever. So yeah, I didn't have such experience.
Wow. Yeah, my experience, I did grow up with Lego, but my parents gave it all away. So I have none of my old Lego. I'm gutted. We had loads of it as a kid, and it's all gone. So now I'm living through my kids. But yeah.
That's very interesting, by the way. Use case that we already seeing in our customers. So we see customers. I suppose that we are talking about parents who are around 40, 50, and whose kids are roughly around, I don't know, 8 to 10.
Yeah.
And these parents, they're sending us their old collections. I just mentioned like a collection from a model from 66. So, and it like really, it's really amazing because it gives you like, this intergenerational
Yeah.
bridge.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
because kids won't appreciate if you give them just this box full of mixed, bulk.
Yeah.
But if you give them properly packed sets that you played with, and of course, I mean, that's quite obvious that parents usually are much more keen in playing with their kids' Lego than the kids themselves. So
Exactly that, yeah. But also bringing back memories from the youth of these sets that suddenly just re-emerge into people's lives that have
yeah,
just been
yeah.
sat there but not being able to be realised. It's fascinating, and I love it. I love what you're doing, and I am really interested to know what comes next and when you launch. So, in terms of funding, are you sort of in the funding stage now, or are you kind of good to go? Are you still getting some money together?
I mean, since this business involves quite heavy investment into hardware that we develop from scratch,
Hmm.
because I mean, of course, we use kind of basic technologies that are available, but still we need to train our own computer vision AI models. We need to assemble our own sorting conveyors because you need all these nuances to be taken into account so the
Mm.
bricks are not falling away from it. So we're very yeah, we need a lot of investment, and we
Yep.
are just constantly raising. So yeah, we had quite a large round happened last year, and now we are going forward looking for a more investment.
Brilliant. Ilya, it's been fascinating having a chat with you, and I'm really excited for launch of this amazing business. Thank you for coming on the Better Business Show and sharing your story with us.
Thank you, Tom. It was such a pleasure.
Great, wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks.